everyone and welcome to Mila Bookshelf. Today we're going to be reading the Chronicles series. I know. Okay, so we're going to be rereading. I already read it. But there's a new book in the series and it's been a while since I read them and it's one of my favorite authors. If this sounds like a bunch of excuses, it is, and that's fine. Because we're getting our way. We're getting what we want.
Let's read them again.
And I'm actually pretty excited because it's going to be like the opening of Mila Bookshelf, the channel. And I know that it's something that I'm gonna like and I'm gonna have great energy for you guys. And I'm just excited. So let's go. Let's get situated. Is that an English word? Off to a great start. Today we're going to be reading Clean Sweep from the Innkeeper Chronicles. It's by Ilona Andrews. Just to give you a heads up, it was written in 2013. It's so good. It's a fantasy book for sure, a little sci-fi in there, and it's based off in Texas. The author, I believe, also lives in Texas. Basically, quick summary, it's a girl. Her parents disappeared when she was, I don't know, 5 years ago, something like that. I can't remember anything from this book. Okay, she and her brother took a couple of years to space travel to try to find their parents. Her parents used to own an inn and they disappeared a couple of years ago with the inn. That is all they tell you. Comes back to Earth, starts up her own inn. But it's similar to her parents in that it's a special kind of inn. The inn is alive. It's like a creature. It's like a little seed. It's a little plant. It just takes over the structure of the inn and you just feed it supplies and the inn can sort of manipulate the ingredients that you feed it. Earth is like this waypoint stop to other places. There's a lot of alien and extraterrestrial races coming in for a few days and leaving again. So she receives these kinds of people. This first book, she is starting off her inn. So she has one permanent guest, I believe, which is like a mass murderer. Yeah, she's protected by the inn because she's a guest, and these types of inns are like neutral territory, whatever. The point is, she needs guests so her inn can feed off the energy of the guests and become more powerful. Not powerful, but healthy. Because right now it's in a weakened state because it used to be dormant, you reawakened it, and now they need to get the inn back into a healthy place. I think that's it. They're taking any jobs. By any, this usually means the guests that nobody else wants, hence the mass murderer. And so she's a permanent resident. She's the only one feeding the inn energy right now. So she needs to take other jobs, and whatever jobs come her way are going to be dangerous as well. I can't remember what it is. I should have reread the blurb before this. I can't remember. I remember the characters that are in it. There's a vampire, there's a werewolf, but the werewolf is like a bioengineered, so it's like a different type of werewolf. And the vampire, it's like an old race. So it's also different from what we're used to. There is a really cool thing that she added with coffee. We'll get to that. There is going to be really cute. I always imagine them as really cute. It's a Martian race and they look like fluffy things. I can't remember what they look like. They're not squirrels, but they're really cute. In my mind, they were really cute. She's mediating a peace summit, I think. This book is the peace summit. Wow. Should really read the blurb. This is a mess. It's fine. Let's just get to it. This is just a reaction video. We'll remember things as we go. Okay, so we literally just read the first sentence. I think it's worth mentioning. Brutus was dead, which I'm assuming she sort of took from Marley was dead, which is the first line of Christmas Carol. Marley was dead, Brutus was dead. I was not expecting to see this, huh? I always think a book is made from the first sentence. I have expectations for the first sentence of a book. It's like a reader culture thing. What's the first sentence? Was it good? Was it epic? Was it memorable? Can it hold itself against other first sentences? Did it have just, I don't know, it's something about first sentences, something extra. I don't know what it is. This is a little disappointing, but that's fine. It's a good book, I promise. Don't hold back because of the first sentence. Brutus was dead. She's one of my favorite authors. I wasn't expecting to see this. I'm judging so hard, and I'm telling you guys not to judge. It's a really good book. Don't judge. Don't judge. Let's keep reading. Okay, so we started reading. We've had some characters introduced. What has been happening is Dina lives in Avalon neighborhood, suburbs, I believe, and dogs have been dying. They're being killed by something. They're guessing it's a mountain lion. Our main character that deals with aliens knows better, but she can't say, obviously. And I got to a part where I'm like, this is why I like this author. Like her writing style, she doesn't constrict herself to, oh, I'm writing. This is a novel. This is a story. It's not as structured as other authors might be, and she plays with her character a lot. I got to this paragraph and it just made me smile. They're describing one of the main characters. His name is Sean Evans and he is ex-military. Should I say more than that? No, I want to keep spoilers to a minimum. Our main character Dina is describing him in her mind. She's not saying any of this out loud, which makes it even funnier. Sean Evans belonged to the second category. Two types of military guys: the ones that grow their hair long, sprout beards, and indulge in all the things that they hadn't been able to do while they were in the armed forces, and then the second did their best to pretend they never got out. Sean Evans belonged to the second category. His russet brown hair was cut short, his square jaw was clean shaven, tall, broad-shouldered. He had a strong fit body honed by exercise to a lean muscular precision. He looked like he could pick up a 50-pound rucksack, run across the city with it, and then beat an ungodly number of enemies to a bloody pulp with his bare hands while things exploded dramatically in the background. He was said to be unfailingly polite, but something in his stares communicated a clear "don't mess with me" message.
It doesn't get better than that.
If you're getting like a vibe, this is a young adult book. You're right. It is, but it's just funny how she just goes describing the character in whichever way she deems appropriate. And if that's the way that the character is, you know, she just goes for it and doesn't care. Unorthodox way to describe a character? I don't know, it's just fun. Okay, so we're a couple of chapters in and I remembered it was good. It is still good. I read this book 10 years ago and it's still doing it for me. Like, I do know that I have this specific genre that I like, this specific style, which is structured but not defined, playful, humorous, maybe a little teasing, and this is exactly it for me. We have this super stubborn, super immature character, the werewolf, and he's used to, you know, getting his way. He's super strong. He's peeing all over the neighborhood. He's peeing on her garden, her apple trees, and he's like, just let me do this. This is how we do this. Because, you know, there's a thread and he's marking his territory and protecting her, and she's like, get off of my tree, like now. Like, stop whatever you're doing. Just don't pee there. Those are my apples. It's just humorous and hilarious, and you have to laugh. There's no way around it. And then she's also young and slightly immature as well, so you just see them like butting heads a little. It's been done before, but it's still nice to see. It's refreshing. And then we have this little Shih Tzu. She has a little dog. The Shih Tzu, it's not a Shih Tzu, but they still haven't said that. They're letting you love the Shih Tzu, find the Shih Tzu adorable. So later on, you're like, okay, I still love you, Shih Tzu. Oh, she found a thing. She found a creature. She killed it. She dragged it. And now Sean is at her house demanding like explanations. I told you I was gonna handle it. And she's like, but you didn't. But I was gonna handle it, but you didn't. Shoo, bye-bye. You're no longer needed. We requested your help. You did not do anything. Thank you very much. Now leave. So that's like the type of relationship they're having right now. She asks for his help reluctantly. Fine, I'll help you out. Pees on her trees. She's like, this is not the kind of help that I was asking for. Everything is still developing. We haven't met all the characters yet. Literally, we're just getting to know the house and the neighborhood at the beginning of the book. So the Shih Tzu's name is Beast, obviously, and I got to the part of the book where they finally introduce what the dog really is. They do it in such a cute way. I mean, she's terrifying, but she's still so cute. The scene is basically Sean coming onto the property, and the Shih Tzu, Beast, she's the only one at that inn right now. Dina had to leave, and so she knows that she has to protect the inn. I'll just read it because it's so good. Look, dog, and I'm using the word dog loosely here. You and I aren't going to have a problem. Beast barked again, pretending to lunge forward and backing up. Go away. Shoo, I don't want to hurt you. He was sizing up the back doors. He must have decided it was the easiest point of entry. Beast barked again. Yeah, whatever. Sean took a step toward the house. Beast growled. The undertone of her growl changed, gaining a vicious edge. Sean squinted at her like, what? What? Beast lung first stood up like hackles on a cat. Claws slid from her feet. Her mouth gaped wider and wider, as if her entire head had split in half. 4 rows of fangs gleamed inside. What the hell? Sean backed away. Beast jumped, covering 10 feet in a single leap. Sean grabbed at a young oak branch and jerked it off the tree. Beast launched herself, and he swung the branch like a bat, trying to knock her aside, with a sound somewhere between an upset wolverine and a pissed off bobcat. Beast clamped onto the branch. Sean jerked it back and forth, trying to get her loose. Beast hung on and went airborne. 4 rows of teeth crushed the wood. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And Sean stumbled back, a stump of branch in his hand. So she basically just ate that branch up. So he goes, oh shit, spins around and runs to the nearest apple tree, climbs up. Sean braced his legs against the split in the trunk, looking comfortable. Beast sprinted around the trunk, circling it left then right in a black and white blur. Sean bared his teeth and snarled. A normal dog would have taken off. Beast barked at him. Sean notices that Beast can't climb up, and he's like, can't climb, huh? Too bad. Beast zooms around the tree again, stops, and bites the trunk. So we have this tiny little Shih Tzu biting away a tree trunk like an apple tree, and it's just like, oh, you're not coming down? Aw. Let me just chomp, chomp, chomp. The scene continues, but it's just hilarious. This is the moment where they introduce Beast as a character, not just a dog. It's still adorable, but she had done her job, you know? And so she receives cuddles, and she receives a treat, obviously, because she's a good girl. But yeah, I love that scene. If you are still having hesitations of whether or not to read this book and you're a dog lover, just go for it. Do yourself a favor. Read it. If you've read it, reread it again. So we are halfway through the book, It's taken some interesting turns. Clearly, I've forgotten an interesting barbecue scene, I'm not gonna say. But there was some grilling and there was some barbecuing and there was some boiling of things. Yeah, by now we already know the problem in this story. It's a creature that came because it's being hunted down by a vampire clan. Basically, there's already vampires staying at the inn. It's been good. I didn't realize it was so short. It's like 200 pages. So it's been a good read. I'm on page 120 right now. And I mean, so far so good. I don't want to say too much, but I'll just keep reading because once I hit that climax, I'm not going to be able to pry the book away. So I was taking like a quick moment to sort of like, hey, I'm still reading. It's still good. See ya. So we just finished reading through the first book, Clean Sweep, and yes, okay, it was good. If you have 3 hours in your day, 4 hours in your day, when you're doing nothing and you want a good book to sit down and just have a good time, laugh a little, be strangely concerned with the sanity of the characters, then this is for you. It's funny, it is sometimes witty. The characters are a little predictable, but they will surprise you from time to time. And because you are dealing with alien creatures and alien things, not everything is what you'll expect. So there's a certain level of surprise. Something that threw me off a little from this book and maybe the author is that she leans heavily on common phrases. So you'll see those thrown about a lot, and sometimes they work if you want to connect an idea, like a specific idea, you want to really connect it to the reader. That works, but overuse, it makes the book a little bland, my opinion. I don't know, what do I know? So yeah, we read through the first book. They managed to deal with the problem by eliminating it. Everyone is sort of hurt and bruised by the end of the book. Also, it's an action novel with a little sci-fi and fantasy as well. They deal with a problem and everyone parts ways at the end. But then there's a lot of still unresolved things. She doesn't find her parents. The wolf goes off to another planet. The vampire also goes away to his own planet. They do sort of challenge one another as they leave, so you know that they're coming back somehow. I checked and the series right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, has 6 books. We still have a lot to read, a lot to cover to get to that 6th book. Yeah, that was it. It was an enjoyable read, honestly. You can't go wrong with one of the Innkeeper Chronicles series books. They're just good, you know. What would I rate it? 1 of 5. 4. They won't change your life. I like them. I don't know what it is about them. I laugh. When I read them, I just laugh. I think I'm in tune with the author's sense of humor. I sort of understand where she's going with it, and it just makes me laugh. It won't change your life. It won't change your mindset. It won't challenge political, religious views, but it's very entertaining. Now you know. I'll continue reading the series for sure, and I'll see you guys around. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and then also subscribe. I'll see you guys around.